Oh, now it wants to count. Okay. So, that was my recording software. My recording software had managed to glitch out, and the recording software crashed because I had paused it, and then while paused, the recording software crashed. And so the software glitched out. And that was a silly caption. But so the recording software had glitched out, and the timer was not actually counting, so I could only record roughly a minute. Now you may have noticed I turned on the touch detection, so you can see when I'm using both sides of the screen or just one when it's not severely lagging. Okay, so it looks like there's some monsters down in the caves below. However, I don't live out that way, so that's not much of an issue. I live over there. So if I walk this way, the monsters should go away. I'll need to keep a watch over the population of those monsters being there, simply because I want to make sure that if there is a spawner there, that I am aware that there is a spawner. I don't want to go digging in that direction and find out that there is a spawner because a bunch of monsters drop on top of my head. I want to be aware that there's a spawner there so that I am capable of taking proper precautions and protecting myself with the proper amount of armor, which is better condition armor than my current quality. For example, I would want more than half health on my leggings. So there is that to consider. So yeah, the progress I am making is a little slow. However, the progress is also somewhat proportional to how deep I am carving into the terrain. And I ask myself, I ask myself, and I ask myself a series of questions about whether or not I should carve a deeper trench. Carving out a trench is, of course, not always a good thing. Sometimes you don't want a very deep trench, sometimes you want a very shallow trench. My moat over there being the case in point. I could expand it and I could dig the moat down deeper, but I think I will instead build up a dedicated kelp farm, and I might just I might temporarily harvest all of the kelp there in order to allow myself to actually decorate the moat, because that is something I've been needing to do. I've been needing to decorate the moat. How am I going to get back up there without carving out my own base? Over here and over here. I can make this diagonal jump here, and there we go. So yeah, I'm capable of oops. I'm capable of building an above ground kelp farm if I choose to want something similar to that. I probably won't build it above ground simply because I would prefer seeing the kelp getting collected, so that I'm capable of knowing when something in the farm has broken. Because I don't want things broken. However, if things are broken, I want to know so that I'm capable of properly approaching the situation. Because we wouldn't want to be improper now, would we? Of course, being improper is quite bad. I realize I say a lot, and that's simply because I'm just thinking. I am trying to basically hold a conversation with my viewers over the course of roughly what has been, let's see, what episode am I on? Yeah, like basically an entire day. I've had roughly 24 hours of content already uploaded to YouTube and everything. He says with a joking, witty banter in his intonation. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about what I want to say, simply because there's a lot of time that I need to pass, that I need to fill while I'm just carving out this mountainside. Therefore, I need to make sure that I have plenty of content which I am capable of saying, because this is a very, very boring and repetitive task. No pun intended. I get the joke of boring while I'm digging through stone at that. So I get the joke. No pun intended, though. Clever. Definitely a clever joke. What I need to do is I need to take out every other torch so that I don't have to do all of that later. This also ensures that I have an accurate measurement of all of these different torches, as they are all placed in a pattern which spaces them out 2 apart. So it's torch, no torch, torch, no torch. And all I'm doing is I am making it torch, no torch, no torch, no torch, torch, no torch, no torch, no torch. And because I am doing this in a diamond pattern, it causes a wonderful little lighting effect as I stare down over the massive swath of land that I've previously cleared out in the prior episodes of this Minecraft survival Let's Play series. I am playing on hard difficulty, by the way. Not creative, no cheats. See? Survival mode, default. Personal game mode is default. Difficulty is hard. World name is what I actually used for the seed, which was, of course, that. World preferences, I did have a starting map and I did have a bonus chest. So anyone who spawns in will get a starting map. It is very difficult to draw and underline in this menu. So yeah, anyone who spawns in will get a starting map when they first spawn, and that will help them locate this place easier, as they will probably be capable of recognizing it from the map now. They do spawn in as a member. They are not operators, and they are not visitors. They spawn in as members. The world type is an infinite generation. There is the seed number right there. Simulation distance is, of course, set to 8 chunks currently. Friendly fire is enabled, so it's possible to accidentally shoot yourself. I know that sounds stupid, but it's for the realism. It also means that I'm very self-conscious about whether or not I blow myself up with TNT. It reminds me to not blow myself up when I start using TNT. I do show the coordinates. They appear over in the corner up here. The fire does spread. The TNT does explode. Monsters do have rewards for killing them, of course. They do drop items. There is natural regeneration if your hunger is satiated. Blocks do drop items. There are tile drops. I do not have immediate respawn enabled, simply because I find it can sometimes make things challenging, because an enemy might sometimes find themselves interested in your bed, which can be very difficult to handle when you are using when you're at world spawn, because then you don't even have a bed, which means you're not in a base, you're just out in the open. So I need to find where world spawn is. To do that, I'll use a compass. As you can see, I do not have cheats active, and the reason for that is simple. I do not want to turn off achievements. So definitely go back on that, because I want achievements. That being said, I do have quite a few achievements in this game already. I think my cape, if I recall correctly, was granted to me by oh no, I think the cape was from a previous event where, because I was a player during a certain time period of Minecraft history, they were like, we're just giving all players a cape, because Minecraft celebrated this big anniversary of some sort. I don't know what the anniversary was. I think it was a 10-year anniversary, which means Minecraft is 10 years old. That is not, of course, when Microsoft bought the Mojang Creation Studios. However, the game has existed in some fashion, some form or another, where it's been accessible by the public to some degree for 10 years. An example would be to say that my content is, for my Minecraft Let's Play series, is roughly a week old. So it would be celebrating, or is it a week old? I think by now it's almost half a month. I haven't been releasing one video every day, so that kind of throws off the calculations. However, it's got a premiere date. It's got an episode 0. So it has that initial setup phase. I am aware that sometimes things might get difficult. However, you should keep in mind that the type of cost is as relevant as the cost itself of something. So, for example, if I am trying to, for example, write something, I want to make sure that I'm capable of accurately informing my readers of what I'm trying to say. Just say it. You don't have to be mysterious or anything. Just say it. If someone wants to tell me something, they can just tell me. They don't have to go and be all mysterious. Oh, figure out what I want. It's like, I want you to just tell me. Because, A, I've been known to be dense. Okay? I've been known to miss a lot of details. I've been known to not always see what is going on around me. Case in point, I'm extremely lighting up my base because I got tired of monsters spawning in my base and taking away all of my time because I had to go fight monsters. So I am spawn-proofing my base. Currently I am using torches. I plan to later harvest a lot of trees, and when I do so, I plan to create a lot of half slabs, and I will cover everything in half slabs. Alternatively, I could use string. However, string looks nice. You can actually use ground blocks and path blocks and all that. However, the problem with that is I would need light still, and I plan to use pumpkins, the jack-o'-lanterns, as the light source, and I would simply I probably wouldn't use the forest. I probably would use the polished basalt. I mentioned that. So I would half slab a lot of polished basalt, because a basalt block is really nice. It's a very hard material. A basalt is, of course, it is extremely thick and dense. So, of course, it provides the best for anything your base might need. Basalt, of course, being very similar to obsidian, which is known as a it's an immovable object, I think it was called. I wanted to make sure I got the grass out of the way because the grass blocks have a higher resistance. Therefore, they take longer to dig out, whereas dirt actually has a slightly faster dig speed. So I can excavate the topsoil, and I can find the proper location for all of my projects, all of my needs, desires, and wants. You of course need a proper location for such things. It's not a simple want. You need a actual clean room of some sort where you're capable of performing all of your research. And that, of course, needs to include a method for preventing anything or anyone from bothering you while your research is progressing. That, of course, means you need to make sure that you are capable of being well behaved. You don't want to break your protocol because protocol is important. Protocol is vital. And protocol should be respected. Which, of course, Aretha Franklin is very good at explaining what respect is all about. RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. A very, very amazing quote. Aretha Franklin really made that phrase popular. Aretha Franklin, of course, being capable of releasing such content during a very troubling period of history. Might be easier to just go over here. Well, that one. Okay. So, yeah, Aretha Franklin either is or was a very talented artist, a very talented musician. I do not recall if Aretha Franklin is still alive today. If so, great music, love the song. If not, then, it's sad, but it is what it is. As they said in Sword Art Online Abridged, they're dead now. And that's fine. It's sad. It is sad. And sad is unfortunate. However, while it's sad, one also needs to keep in mind that there are plenty of people in the world who are possibly more capable of explaining things that are far more relevant. I should say which are far more relevant. However, the political correctness is not the most important aspect. All the way over there again. So yeah, the degree to which a quote is correct is not always the most important. However, of course, it is very important to make sure that you check your facts. I suppose accuracy actually is the most important, now that I think about it. You don't want to just think you know the answer, because if you think you know the answer, you probably don't. Simply because, well, who told you the answer? Where did you get this answer from? It's a very simple equation, very basic and very straightforward. You should, of course, eat some freshly cooked, freshly clean chicken. But yeah. By the way, I did notice that a lot of my viewers so far do not tend to stick around for more than 20 minutes. So if you made it this far, congratulations, and thank you. Do be sure. I keep saying that. Of course, be sure to make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. The majority of my viewing audience apparently is not subscribed. And make sure to hit the notification bell. Make sure to comment to allow me to, provide feedback on what you're thinking about my episodes entails. If you don't talk to me, I can't really talk to you because there's really no conversation going on. So make sure you leave a comment letting me know how I might improve or upgrade my video or something. You gotta tell me what I'm doing wrong. Otherwise, I won't know. I just won't know. And of course, do make sure to try and keep the content wholesome, we'll call it. I want to manage to keep the content properly well behaved. Like, I want to keep the content at least safe for 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, simply because I am aware that the terms and conditions outlined in the Google policy states that the youngest an account holder is capable of being in the Google services programs is 13. You're not capable of having a YouTube account when you're 12. You have to have access from your parents and special permission given and all this other stuff, and that's fine. My content is listed as not safe for minors, of course. However, it is not restricted content. I'm not performing scenes of gratuitous violence. It's not a bloody mess. It's not a battlefield. It's Minecraft, It's pixelated blocks that are being broken down into their base components and reconstructed into more useful components, allowing me to expand my productivity and allowing me to be capable of navigating the perils of base building and navigating the perils of attempting to of attempting to explore places that are extremely dangerous. A solid example of such danger would, of course, be in reference to the location, otherwise known as the Nether, which, of course, I have a portal to that I never use, and I keep it closed and locked off so that things do not enter my base through that portal, as I do not favor having monsters running around inside my base. Such behavior is not very beneficial or conductive or productive. Therefore, I try and avoid having monsters running around inside of my base. I apologize for the sound of the dispenser. I still have not managed to quiet that thing, and I'm not entirely sure I'm capable of actually quieting the dispenser. It would require simply well, it's not very simple. It would require me going out of my way to set up a redstone circuit that detects the hopper getting an item, and then it will begin a short delayed circuit where the dispenser gets told to basically expend its stored items, expel the stored item, in order to dispense the egg. Eggs are, of course, eggs. I actually love to eat eggs. I find an egg to be quite delicious. I do prefer my eggs what's known as sunny side up. Not everyone likes it sunny side up. For some people, it's a health risk. For others, they simply do not enjoy the runny yolks. Me, I love a good runny yolk. And the irony of that sentence is that if you double speed that sentence, I'm fairly sure the transformed phonetical the transformed phonemes or phonetics or however you want to pronounce it. But the voice to text feature is probably going to detect that as a funny joke. I did not say, for clarification, I love a funny joke. I said that I love a runny yolk, in a runny egg yolk. Which is drastically different in their meanings. I bring plenty of shovels because I kind of go through a lot of stone shovels. I probably brought too many shovels this time, which means I have less inventory space available to me. However, I do know that I will eventually just end up needing a new shovel. That's kind of inevitable in Minecraft. So I just kind of go through and I make sure I carry a shovel on me at all times, simply because it's Minecraft. The forward the forward directed skill set the forward oriented skill set where you're learning end-to-end logistics by playing the survival Minecraft is quite surprising. There is a striking difference between having a base that is constantly roaming, constantly traveling, and having a sturdy, stable base that you're capable of depending upon when you find yourself in troubled times. You want to be capable of retaining your sanity and your safety. As safety is, of course, of vital a vital requirement. If you're not safe, then of course you're going to find yourself, you're going to find yourself very quickly regretting it. The level of safety in one's actions allows freedom of movement and freedom of choice to be possible. However, if the safety regulations are not strong enough, the movement and choice, of course, should remain restricted. As you really need to make sure that you have proper protocol. And you also need proper protocol protection, of course, and proper protection protocols. Without proper protection, of course, the result will always end up causing an unwanted reaction. Sometimes it might be a minor reaction. However, more often than not, the reaction is likely to be a sizable reaction. Therefore, if the protocols are breached, well, a sizable reaction would include damage to self and or property and or vital components. For example, if I don't light up my base and I'm running back with all of my freshly mined quartz, for example, which of course gets quite dangerous to gather, as does glowstone, unless of course you have a villager trading hall, at which point things become somewhat easier. However, the quartz is supposed to be safe in my base. However, the reason why the quartz is supposed to be safe in my base is because of the fact that the base is protected. I, of course, took precautions to make sure that monsters don't spawn. I cleared out the area around my base to make sure that there are no hidden cave networks that are in a nearby hillside. I made sure that everything was well lit with probably far too many torches, but it does look nice. And of course, the torch spam is not too bad. As I do make sure that I limit it to a degree, simply so that I'm not accidentally hurting it with what I'm doing. For example, I don't want my phone to be overwhelmed by the massive quantity of particle effects that it needs to process. I want to have dirt blocks surrounding all of these jack-o'-lanterns that I'm going to be planting. I'm going to want a bunch of slabs that I'm going to make. And I'm going to take these slabs and I'm going to cover all of the grass and the jack-o'-lanterns so that I'm capable of having a good, clean, well-lit surface with which I'm capable of building a very large and very efficient Minecraft base. One person commented that I seemed like I would probably be a technical Minecraft player. They would be correct. They would be right. And what that simply means is I'm not always going to build some beautiful construction. Sometimes I'm interested in building something that is good at what it does. And I want to narrow down all of the different portions of what I build in such a manner so that I am capable of having a smooth operating series of events. I was trying to avoid using the word system because saying a smooth operating system is like, I mean, let's be honest, that would be Linux. The Android operating system is actually a Linux operating system. It's Unix. I'm not always sure on the difference between Linux and Unix. I do, however, know that one is built on the other, and one of them is more stable and free, and the other one is less stable and not free and old, very old, as it has not gotten any updates in a very long time, as far as I am aware. However, everyone uses the free one, so I hear the Ubuntu operating system is quite nice. There is a lot of room for improvement in many operating systems. There's a lot of potential for upgrades. I just realized this is going to give me a great view of that moon every time it rises when I'm exiting from my base. Oh, perfect. My pickaxe broke just as I mined the last block of stone. just going to do this. The mindless method, as I call it. Because I then go through and I take out all of these center lines here, and then I go over here and I take out these little lines that are messing up the design.